Democrats plan 5 different responses to the president's address. Why stop at 5? Sounds like a real unified party to me. They couldn't pick just one. They got to go to 5 people. That's very diverse. Well, that includes a speech by Bernie Sanders tonight. That's the one I'm looking forward to. And Maxine Waters tomorrow. We thought that was tonight. So if you have that many messages, do you really have a message at all? Let's go back to our panel. Philippe, does this party have a unified response to Donald Trump? Obviously, he's unified the Republican Party. It's interesting to look back a year and a half ago during the campaign. He's the most divisive Republican. He's ripping the party to shreds. I love looking back on those sound bites from some of our friends on the other cable channels. He's unified the party unlike anyone I've seen since maybe right after 2001 or maybe Reagan.
Tax cuts will do that. I do want to take issue, though, with your numbers. You said there were 5 Democrats. I think there are 4. I'm not going to count Bernie as an actual Democrat.
Fair point.
I have to say that so that I get hit from both sides tonight when I get home.
That's fine. I'll give you that. Okay.
People have different messages, but you know what? 10 people can talk, and no one's going to get the attention the president does on the night of the State of the Union.
Yeah, I always think the response.
Well, but it's a bit of, unless you need some more water and lean over, like.
Oh, that was embarrassing.
Yeah, it was embarrassing.
Remember when Bobby Jindal sashayed out? Remember that weird walk? God bless him.
People are going to be talking more about why was there a car with a hood open behind him.
He was sweating a lot. The sweat is hard. Maybe it's odd because it was Nixon Kennedy, and Nixon was sweating. In this case, it was the Kennedy sweat. It was interesting.
They were Republicans. You're saying it, not me.
But it's strange. I mean, for the Democrats to trot out a young, new, fresh face.
12. How old is he?
And but his name is Joe Kennedy. That's their fresh face.
I thought they said the dynasties aren't a good thing. They want to get rid of.
They're terrible.
Get past the Clintons, get past the Bushes.
Obviously.
Who would you guys have put out?
I'd put Kamala Harris. Someone. I would have put her out there. I think she's interesting. She's an interesting person. But I don't know. Joe Kennedy. He looked like he went to too many Tony Robbins seminars or something. There was a lot of stresses on the wrong words, and it's hard because you just followed Trump. I mean, it's really hard.
I never did understand what was the broken down car in the background for.
Unclear, because Fall River is known for its broken down old mills that closed down.
And a Bengals thing in the back. Maybe should have had a Patriots sign back there. I don't know. Maybe we're playing the Super Bowl.
I don't know what is going on.
I don't even know what that is. I'm from the area.
Byron, it's not fair though, because we've talked about, and I know you and I have talked about poor old Rubio or Bobby Jindal. As Philippe said, the water or the sashaying out to an empty room. It never works. So I think we should just dispense with them altogether. Just have some other type of event.
Well, you can't win, and the Democrats couldn't win, but tonight. But what they did do does tell us something about us and about them, and they are really deeply divided, it appears to be, and in kind of in interest groups. The fact that they would have all of these different responses, basically ranging from the center left to the far left, and that was all throughout the Democratic presence. I saw a tweet tonight about Representative Gutierrez, the Democratic congressman, who was wearing 3 different items of clothing to indicate
it was a serape? What was that?
He had a Time's Up pen for sexual harassment.
Okay.
He had a butterfly pen for the Dreamers, and he was wearing an African cloth to protest Donald Trump's S-hole countries remarks.
I thought that was
there was a lot of virtue signaling going on there.
Okay, well, I thought that was some type of.
I'm not expected to defend that.
Other type of embroidered blanket. I don't know. We're not a walking billboard at the State of the Union. There was a Joy Reid tweet, just for the heck of it, because it's past midnight. Joy Reid tweet tonight. This is what it is. Okay, it says church, family, police, military, the national anthem. Trump trying to call on the tropes of 1950s era nationalism. The goal of this speech appears to force the normalization of Trump on the terms of the bygone era his supporters are nostalgic for. Philippe, does that sum up the party that now we're all upset when church, family, military, and the national anthem get mentioned?
Well, look, jokes aside, and back to the point I was making, is that it was a very traditional State of the Union address, and I think that's a problem because he's not a traditional president.
You made that point.
No, but here's why.
About your party.
But here's why: the words you use and the words you don't use telegraph to the government, to the people, what your priorities are. And I think the point of what he didn't say is important. Corey was mentioning, and you were saying that he really put America first. I think he put the threats we faced last or not at all. And everyone's going to jump on me the minute I say Russia, but let's forget about the memo and all that. Greg Pompeo, President Trump's CIA director, said Russians are going to screw with us. Sorry, Mike Pompeo. Mike Pompeo is going to screw with us. Russia's going to screw with us in November in 2018. This is the position of the intelligence agencies. Why does the President of the United States not say that we will not tolerate that? If Iran were going to screw around with our elections, it would have been in the speech. If North Korea was going to be in the speech, why wasn't it?
I'll just. That's a fair point. I think I might have thrown that in there. My question to you is, and I don't remember, and I might be wrong. Did Barack Obama reference the 50 million personnel files that China stole from the Office of Personnel Management, among them mine and many others, and their cyber spying, their stealing of supercomputing technology, their stealing of our intellectual property, challenging us at every level? Russia's economy is smaller than the size of France. China has a larger standing army than ours right now.
Russia buzzed one of our planes 5 feet away with the fighter.
China threatens us at every turn, all around the world all the time.
Why is it either or? Why does Russia not get a mention?
Because you're obsessing on it for a reason for political expedience. My point
is, I'm obsessing on it because I don't like the Russians thinking they can screw around with our election.
I don't recall your party being obsessed with the Soviet Union when it was the Soviet Union. They were. This is détente central with the Democrat Party. That's all we wanted. But now it's Russia, Russia, Russia. That's all you guys can say, because otherwise you have to talk about why the economy is doing well, why consumer confidence is up, why business investment is up, and why this president is actually instilling an American exceptionalism that I think had been beaten down, frankly, for many, many years.
Why does that preclude protecting us from exterior forces?
I don't think he is. I don't think he is doing that.
Why not say it?
If he said it, you'd be on to the next thing.
No, I wouldn't, actually. That's the only thing I noticed tonight that he didn't say.
Every time the Democrats say Russia, I say China, and they never have an answer because China is a much bigger threat.
China. We can handle.
But Obama never did. He never really focused on China.
But we're talking about President Trump,
right? But you're doing it only for. But I'm doing it. Mention it across the board.
We did have 8 years of the Democratic president who got kind of run over pretty badly by the Democrats. I mean, by the Russians, including the reset effort, which failed, and including the fact that everything that did happen under,
and all the other issues. No one wants to talk. We never talked about Uranium One when Barack Obama was in office. Look, here's what the president talked about. Here's what he talked about: America, tax cuts, jobs, unemployment, security for people, infrastructure spending, God and your country. Look, that's what the State of the Union is about. It's about making people proud to be Americans again.
Look, and I think it's not easy.
Touting 90% of your party being happy with it and 40% of the opposing party not, I really don't see what the rah-rah is about.
But, Philippe, I think it's always hard to be the party out of power on the first State of the Union speech. Obama hit it out of the park on his first. I really think he did a great job in his first speech. It's not like as a Republican I'm going to like it, but it's not easy. And the country's doing really well. Trump has some problems to deal with, and he's got to deal with them. This investigation is an albatross, no doubt. But it's not easy to be the party out of power. We'll see for how long you are out of power. But
speaking of which, I'm not sure that performance tonight is going to help much in November. I just don't.
Well, if Democrats don't
the economy is going to help in November. And if it keeps going the way it's going, the resistance is going to be a resistance to progress.